you follow all these practices, when you're committed to, all these practices, all these healthy hair practices, then you realize that you actually retain more length than you can ever imagine. What's up guys, you're welcome back to my channel. My name is Adedoyin, and in case you're watching me for the first time, you are absolutely welcome. You are at the right place where you get to learn everything about natural hair, how to have healthy and luscious looking natural hair while having absolute fun along the way. So today's video, I am going to be sharing with you how to start your own natural hair journey in 2020. I know you want to start your natural hair journey, but there are lots of information on the internet that you don't even know where to start from. And that is why I'm here for you today. I am going to be breaking things down for you so that you can understand properly. I am going to be telling you the things you need to put more focus on, as well as those things that are absolutely unnecessary. I am going to be telling you the basic things you need to know about your natural hair so that you can enjoy your natural hair journey. So if that sounds like something you might be interested in, sounds like fun to you, then you should definitely keep on watching. Okay guys, before we actually continue this video, I want to clarify some things with you guys. Number one, you need to identify the reason why you want to go natural. Is it because of your favorite influencers here that is very dope and very beautiful? It is actually a very valid reason to go natural, but you need to have it at the back of your mind that your natural hair texture might not be exactly the same as that person's hair, and it's okay. You just need to love your hair the way it is. Okay, so you need to have that at the back of your mind that your natural hair might not be exactly as how somebody else's natural hair is, because that's something that I really didn't know at first. I thought all natural hair is the same, and it's actually not true. We have different types of natural hair, so your natural hair might not be exactly the same as somebody else's natural hair. And you also need to believe that your natural hair can grow. As long as you believe that your natural hair can grow, then you can be committed to, making sure you practice the things you need to practice to make sure that your natural hair grow. Having said all of that, I am going to be sharing with you the basic things you need to know about your natural hair, as well as about your natural hair journey, so you can enjoy it. Okay guys, the first thing I would like to mention is that if you want to start your natural hair journey, you need to decide if you are going to transition into natural hair, or if you are going to go for the option of big chopping your hair. Yeah, if you are going to big chop. So I personally transitioned my hair for a year. I stopped relaxing my hair for 1 year, and then I cut off the relaxed ends after a year. You have to decide which one you want to go for. Do you want to big chop, or do you want to transition your hair? But you also have to keep at the back of your mind that if you are going to transition your hair, it requires much more commitment than if you want to big chop. Transitioning your hair means you are dealing with two textures. You are dealing with your natural hair, and you're also dealing with relaxed ends. So you need to make sure that you take care of both textures very properly so that your hair does not break unnecessarily. On the other hand, when you big chop, you are dealing with just one texture, and then you can just get committed to that texture. So having decided which one you want to go for, if you're transitioning or if you want to go for the big chop, then there are some practices you need to put your focus on that will make your natural hair journey very blissful. A lot of practices I see here and there, I'm not saying they are not necessary, but what I'm saying is that there are some fundamental things that you need to put your focus on. Then once you've gotten these things right, once you understand these things, then you can start going into some other things like rice water, like avocado, like aloe vera, like all of those DIY things. You can start going into those things once you understand the basic things you need to know about your natural hair. And that is what we are going to be talking about now. The first thing I would like to share with you is shampooing your hair. Shampooing is actually very easy. It's just about cleansing your hair, getting rid of dirt from your hair. But what a lot of people don't know is that there are two types of shampooing. Yes, the first one is using a moisturizing shampoo, and the second one is using a clarifying shampoo. A moisturizing shampoo, you can use that every other day you want to shampoo your hair. It doesn't strip your hair of its natural oil as a clarifying shampoo will do. You can use a moisturizing shampoo to cleanse your hair every 2 weeks, while you use a clarifying shampoo every month or every 2 months. A clarifying shampoo is much more harsh than a moisturizing shampoo. So you use a moisturizing shampoo every other time you want to shampoo your hair, but you use a clarifying shampoo once a month or twice a month because it is harsher than a moisturizing shampoo. Next thing I would like to mention, or I would like to explain to you guys, is co-washing. Like I said, shampooing actually strip your hair off its natural oil, off its natural moisture, and you don't want that because you want moisture in your hair. Another option, another good option, instead of shampooing your hair every other week, another good option is co-washing your hair. And what is co-washing? Co-washing is actually using a product called conditioner, or a product called co-wash to cleanse your hair. But there are a lot of brands that now produce co-wash products, and you can actually use that to cleanse your hair. It is much more moisturizing, and it lifts off little bits of dirt from your hair. You know, there are some times when you don't want to wash your hair, you don't want to, you know, it's, your hair is not that dirty, but you just want to like moisturize it. You just want to lift up the little dirt that is in it. Then co-wash is actually your best option. You need to co-wash at that time. It's a better option to shampoo your hair every other day. You can co-wash every week, then shampoo your hair every 2 weeks, then use a clarifying shampoo every month or every 2 months, depending on how your hair needs it. Now that you understand the concept of shampooing and co-washing, the next thing I am going to be talking about is deep conditioning your hair. Now, deep conditioning your hair is actually the height of natural hair care practices. Like, if you've started your natural hair journey already, and you have not been deep conditioning your hair, then I don't think you know what you are doing yet, because deep conditioning is actually what makes your hair strong. Deep conditioning is the process of applying a product called deep conditioner into your hair, covering it with a shower cap, letting the deep conditioner sit properly in your hair, penetrating your hair strands and giving it the needed moisture or protein that your hair needs. That way your hair is not prone to breakage, your hair is manageable, and it doesn't break off very easily. So there are 2 ways you can actually deep condition your hair. Deep condition is also known as steaming, by the way. You can use a moisture deep conditioner and a protein deep conditioner, depending on which one your hair needs at a particular time. But it's best, since you are new to natural hair journey and all of that stuff, I would advise that you go for a product that balances both protein and moisture in your hair. That way you don't have to like start jumping up and down. Does my hair need moisture? Does my hair need protein? Once you are using a deep conditioner that balances both of them, then you are good to go. And you need to deep condition very often. You need to deep condition very often, like probably every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks, and sometimes every week, depending on what you do to your hair, depending on how well your hair can take it. Do you understand? So deep conditioning is actually very important. I actually have a video on how you can properly detangle and deep condition your natural hair. It is a very detailed video and I explained everything in depth. I'm going to put the link up here as well as in the description box, so you should check it out after watching this video. Now that you understand the concept of deep conditioning, also I am going to talk about something that is very important to your natural hair, and that is moisturizing and sealing. Now I'm going to use a very good example that you are very familiar with. I'm going to use that example for you now. Let us look at a plant. A plant will not grow if it doesn't see water, if it doesn't see sunlight, if it doesn't see manure from the ground, if the ground is not suitable for it to grow, it will not grow. The same thing with our hair. Your hair will not grow if it lacks moisture. If your hair lacks moisture, it will not grow because it will be prone to breakage. Let's take for example a leaf that is very moisturized. It will not be prone to breakage, unlike a leaf that is very dehydrated and is very dry. It will be very prone to breakage. The same thing applies to our hair. Your hair will be very prone to breakage if it is not well moisturized, and you need to moisturize your hair very often, if not every day, like every 2 days. You need to moisturize your hair very often. And how do you moisturize your hair? You moisturize your hair by using a water-based leave-in conditioner or just using ordinary water on your hair. You apply either of this on your hair and then you seal it with a oil, because if you do not seal the moisture in your hair, you have basically not moisturized your hair, because the moisture will definitely escape. So you need to seal that moisture in your hair strands with oil so that the moisture can last really long in your hair strand. I have a video on how you can properly moisturize and seal your hair so that you can retain moisture for days. I have a very detailed video on that on my channel as well. I'm going to put the link up here as well as in the description box, so you should definitely check that one out also after watching this video. Next thing I would like to talk about is protective styling. A lot of people get it wrong here. A lot of people get the concept of protective styling wrong. I see a lot of people doing Ghana weaving and the edges are really tight and they call it protective styling. Protective styles are styles that protect your natural hair. Yes, they protect your natural hair. It does not pose any damage to your edges. It does not pose any damage to your hands. So whatever hairstyle you want to pick, you have to ensure that it protects your natural hair and it does not pose any damage to your hairline and to your hands. So tight braids are a no-no if you're on a natural hair journey and you want to enjoy it and you want to retain some length. And you also want to reduce the amount of heat that you use on your hair. That is also not protective styling, girl. You don't want to be using it on your hair all the time because it makes your hair very prone to damage so when you use it on your hair all the time. The next thing that a lot of people just ignore completely, you just ignore it as if no, it is not necessary. A lot of people ignore it and they don't know that it might be one of the reasons why their hair is not growing or why they are not retaining length. And what is this thing? Protecting your hair while you are sleeping. A lot of people don't get that thing. You need to protect your hair while you are sleeping. Just imagine me sleeping like this and then rubbing my head against my pillow. My hair will break. It will break. I will get a lot of tangles and knots in my hair and eventually it will break. So you want to cover your hair with your satin cap or a satin scarf, or you sleep on a satin pillowcase whenever you want to sleep. That way your hair will be protected and the amount of knots and tangles in your hair will be greatly reduced, and that way you are able to retain length. So when you put all these things into practice, you realize that you are actually retaining length and you are enjoying your natural hair. So, and by the end of the year, you realize that you have actually retained up to like 4 or 5 inches of growth of hair, which is actually something that is very rare. The average length that you can actually retain in a year is 6 inches. That's on the average. It might be more for some people and it might be less for some people. But when you follow all these practices, when you're committed to, all these practices, all these healthy hair practices, then you realize that you actually retain more length than you can ever imagine. Okay guys, now that we understand the basic things you need to follow, the practices you need to follow so that you can actually enjoy your natural hair journey, do not forget to subscribe to my channel and also give me a thumbs up. And if you have any question, drop it in the comment section and I will definitely attend to them. So that's going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned a lot of things and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye.